Let's get salty!
Everyone, Zeddy here again today with a brand new video, and is it finally time? Something that I've seen requested month after month of pure Paladin dominance, at least at lower ranks. Is it finally time for Paladin to get dialed down? Because one card in particular has really put it over the top at quite a ridiculous level. We'll talk about that, as well as the rest of the meta, which there has been one really startling development of one class just completely falling off that I don't think a lot of us expected. Friendly reminder, we have our giveaway going on to celebrate 69,420 subs. I'm giving away $400 to, well, $100 to 4 different winners of Hearthstone packs, whatever they want. All you have to do to enter that giveaway is like and comment in the video in the description below. If we somehow hit 71,000 subscribers by next week, I will add another $100 giveaway winner to that prize pool. So hit that sub button, make me go broken. I made the joke here on Twitter. I would have rated this card a lot higher if I would have realized what this card would actually do. And joking that it's got 13 attack, lifesteal, and just goes face. I actually gave this only a 2 in my reviews, and we'll probably have to do a can't believe Zeddy got these cards so wrong. But I thought the Paladin location would be the card to put Paladin over the top, but it turns out it was Horn of the Windlord. Take a look at HS replay across all ranks. Paladin #1, but it's been that way for I don't know how long. Hunter #2, and you'll note even Death Knight in Warrior, which had finally gotten above 50%, is struggling to keep that. But we have basically, 7 classes, 48% or higher. And then, well, you got the rest. Druid in particular doing pretty bad. Rogue is actually a good class at High Legend, but other than that, doing really bad. But what do we say, you know, pure Paladin, it's only good at the noob ranks, it's fine. Well, let's take a look at the High Legend meta, where, yeah, it's not quite that. So this is the top 1000 legend meta since the mini set came out. And you can see, pure Paladin, by far, the most powerful deck with Enrage Warrior, #2, Spell Demon Hunter, which is a counter to Paladin, Lady Athena, all of that. It's gross, and yes, I hit Legend with it. Yeah, it's just gross. It's a gross deck. Miracle Rogue, as I mentioned, Rogue still doing well at higher ranks. It's just the same old Miracle Rogue, no new combo cards. A lot of people just don't want to play it. It's also a little bit harder to play. Big Beast Hunter has had a big resurgence. The new card, Lifesteal Beast, we'll talk about that in a second, has just revitalized the class and basically shored up a lot of weaknesses it had. Same thing kind of happened with Pure Paladin. We'll talk about that as well. But also, yeah, Demon Hunter. Demon Hunter is still, like, insanely good. Totem Shaman's up there. But you'll note, not one Deathlight deck at top 1000 Legend, at least, is above 50%. Unholy and Blood, just struggling. And the best Deathlight deck before the mini set was Frost. It has fallen all the way down to 46%, which is pretty easy to explain. I guess I'll just do it very quickly. All the top decks right now, they can heal pretty well. Pure Paladin, we'll talk about with the weapon, can heal quite a bit. Enrage Warrior gains armor, so that's pretty frustrating. Spell DH can heal a bunch with Unleash Fel. Big Beast Hunter can heal with their beast now. Like, all these decks heal. And that really just screws over the Frost Burn strategy. But let's talk about Pure Paladin. What really has put it over the top? I was saying one of the weaknesses it had is its recoverability, and I thought the location would go really well in there to help with that, but no. The weakness Pure Paladin really had was its reach, its lethality, and maybe ability to heal. And all in one card has helped with that. Horn of the Windlord. Wind Fury, 3/4. Whenever your hero attacks a minion, instead it has a 3/3. Almost irrelevant. This card mostly goes face. And when you combine it, and I just completely forgot this card exists, with Feast and Famine, all of a sudden you have a 6 attack weapon, which also gives you lifesteal. That's 12 healing. And you could couple up with another Feast and Famine, or another 4 Kel'Thuzad, which can also go with Kortori Nightblade. You can get not only a ridiculous amount of healing, but of course, incredible reach. So you get all that chip damage in with your really good early minions, and the deck feels a lot more complete. Who cares about Rush when you could just kill your opponent? It's at the point where, yeah, this deck, this whole archetype, is just dominant at all ranks. It is by far the most popular deck everywhere, even at Legend. 14.58%. You can see 12% of players play it, and there's a bunch of other decks and all that. So, is it time for Pure Paladin to get nerfed? And we should be expecting, by the way, honestly, a balance patch either next week or the week after. There's always a balance patch around 2 weeks after the mini set to kind of prepare for the expected expansion launch or expansion announcement, which should be like late June, early July, so 3 weeks or so. So I think we would be expecting a balance patch. We'll probably have nerf predictions next week, but I did want to talk early that, yeah, I think Pure Paladin probably needs to get dialed down. And when you're talking about the deck, the thing that always came up was you got to nerf Disco Mall. The card is ridiculous, but if you look at Disco Mall in Pure Paladin, it's not really an outlier. Like, it's a really good card. You can see mulligan win rate, drawn win rate, played win rate, 60% across the board. But you're looking at a card like Purator, it's the best card in the deck. It actually is. Mulligan win rate, 69% win rate. Drawn, 65%, played, 65%. The only card that is a better played win rate are like the finisher cards, Forekel for Loss, or Feast and Famine, Horde of the Windlord. The cards you would look if you're trying to dial back Paladin's power level, you don't want to kill the deck because it's relatively healthy outside of like a little bit of being overtuned. You could argue maybe the Purator could go to 6 mana, slow that down a little bit. I feel like Horn of the Windlord just doesn't capture like what this card is supposed to do. It's a 3/4 Wind Fury weapon that's supposed to set stats to a 3/3. But it just doesn't matter. You just go face, right? I almost wish it couldn't go face. Something like that. You make it like 5 mana and you make it not go face. It's interesting. It's also a shaman card, by the way, but that hasn't been super relevant. Even though they have Rockbiter, they don't have like that insane lifesteal package and all that. So I don't know. Those are the cards that stand out to me. Of course, Disco Mall you could look at, but I just don't think it really moves the needle that much in this deck. You could talk about reverting the nerf on the buff on Countess, but she's not even one of the best cards in the deck. You really would want to look at something that have a bit more impact. So be interesting to see if nerfs happen in the game. We'll have predictions on that, but also what you guys think. Should it be nerfed? What should be hit? But the other thing I really wanted to talk about it's just how much the mini set has really changed up the meta. You'll note that, like, yeah, Deathlight's still very popular, but these numbers keep dropping. All of a sudden, Big Beast Hunter, 4.79%, one of the most popular decks out there. This deck wasn't all that strong before the mini set, but one card just put it over the top, and it's really cool to see. Hollow Hound, the Hunter, Death Knight, dual class minion, Lifesteal Rush, 6 mana 3/6. All of a sudden, you're getting, if it hits 3 minions, a bare minimum of 9 healing in Hunter, a class that has almost have never had access to healing. Like, the best they had before was like Rexar creations with Build-A-Beast, the 2 mana 1/3 Rusher Beast you could give Dire Frenzy, and that was really powerful. Both of those things were powerful back in the day. And now you got Hollow Hound, no requirement on it. You could throw bananas on it. You could buff it for Hope for Loss. I've seen people even go really greedy and like Lorthamar and get ridiculous healing. And all of a sudden Hunter, which, you know, would struggle dying to these decks that would just go face, burn you out, they can get that recoverability. And it's just really cool to see. I'm liking the evolution of Hunter. I like Big Beast style in general. It's not just a pure face deck. It's got, like, you know, late game in here like Stranglethorn Heart and Hydralodon. It's been really cool to see it evolve. And in terms of like the legend meta itself, side of like, you know, the power outliers, I feel like Pure Paladin could get dialed back. I feel like these Demon Hunter decks aren't, you know, very fun to face. They're not super popular, thankfully. I feel like the meta itself is quite varied. There's a lot of stuff to play. Control, burn, aggro. There's not really much combo out there, but you got a little bit of combo with Spell Demon Hunter, if you want to call it that. You got scam decks. You got all sorts of stuff. And from like tier 3 to tier 1, there's a lot of cool stuff. And if you go down to like Diamond through Legend, it opens up even more, where you got like a ton of decks doing well. So I'm going to say, at least when I'm playing Standard, there's a lot of stuff to play. There's quite a bit of stuff to enjoy. I like playing Spooky Mage in those decks, which Solid Alibi, really gross card. But I have to say, this has been a lot healthier mini set meta we've seen in a long time, where there's not like a complete dominant unfun pure outlier, where Pure Paladin is very counterable with that mage deck I talked about, Spell Demon Hunter and all that. Unholy DK can counter it. So I am curious to see when we do get that balance patch, if it'll be major, because I kind of reflect what Cantaloupe tweeted earlier today. I'll end the video off on this. This has been my opponent chart in top 100 Legend this season. This is amazing. Probably the first time in a long time that 60 to 70% of the pie chart wasn't just 2 classes. You love to see it. Variety is fun for everyone. And I agree. I'm seeing a lot of different stuff. I think Paladin, a little bit too dominant. Clark himself here replied with, give it 24 more hours. Paladins are rising. He's got a bit more of a skewed number here with Paladin quite high. But I think, you know, minor adjustments to that deck, maybe some buffs to like Druid or something, I don't know. And we have a really cool meta. And I have to say it's probably one of the better ones I played recently, at least from my experience. I'd love to hear what you guys have to say about it and all that. So kind of more of a meta rambly video, but we got to talk about the Paladin stuff. It's just so crazy. And well, we'll talk to you guys tomorrow with a brand new video. If you enjoyed this one, please like and subscribe. Have a great day and stay salty, my friends.